So last week we talked about the 5 love lessons from Martin Luther King, and he talked about love is the answer. We know this already. This is what this song was all about. Love is the answer. It's transformative. That's number 2. What are we doing for others? It's number 3. Always thinking about that. What is our service? And that's no one in this room that isn't doing service. Everyone in this room I know is doing a service of one kind or another. That you choose love. It's a choice. You choose to love, regardless of what the situation might look like, regardless of what anyone is saying or doing or how they're behaving. You just make a choice to love. And then the final thing is to prioritize peace, to be peace in action, to bring the peace and the love in every room that you might enter. You be the peace. You be the love. You be the first to do what is necessary. Today I want to talk about thank you so much, how to make dreams real. Because we talk so much about what we can do. God is. That's he pointed to that because that's how we know the power of God in us. The power of God in us to create whatever life we want to live. I'll take a sip. So good. What a group. Thank you. It takes a village. Thank you so much because it needs it. I appreciate that. Make your dreams real. Well, that's what we're thinking about. We're always talking about what we can do. And so I want to talk a little bit about how that happens. So because there are definite points that must be taken and actions to make your dreams come true. All of which you can do. All of which is not easy necessarily, but simple for us to do. So here's how. The first thing I want you to know is that you have to, and I talk about this all the time, and this is absolutely necessary. You have to make a demand on the universe, okay? And I hear this all the time. There's a lot of confusion about this. What's the biggest issue of how to manifest? I'm waiting on God to tell me. I'm waiting on God. I wish that God would just tell me what to do. If God wanted me to have it, I would already have it. Just all of these crazy thoughts. That is not true. It just goes on and on. But the fact is, God is waiting on you. Okay? God isn't just coming and go, okay, well, here you go. Princess, here's your thing. Sir, here's your thing. Sir, here's yours. I know you want this. And here you go. No, that's not how it works. How it works is you say, here's what I want. And God says, there you are. You're welcome. I want this. There you are. You're welcome. So what's the hardest thing? There's so much. But one of the hardest things is deciding what we want. Believing that we deserve what we want. That's a big one. We want so much in the world, and we feel like, well, who am I? Who am I to have this? Who am I to get this? And the third thing is that we don't think we are enough. We don't know enough. We're not good enough. We're not some kind of enough. And so there's no way for us to have the dreams that we want, none of which is true. Because why? You are individualized expressions of the one. And part of what that means, it means so much, but part of what it means is that you have what you need already. And here's what I can tell you for sure. You wouldn't have a dream that's in your heart if God wasn't prepared to help you have it. You wouldn't have it. It wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be energetically inside of you if it wasn't yours to have. So let me just get that nonsense out of the way. It is yours. And so you have to make a request. Everything purposeful in my life has happened because I decided on it. And I decided to make a request. So what we do is we simply have to claim it. And what I want to share with you guys this morning, some activities on your own. You have to do it this morning, but some activities on your own is to begin to write down your dreams. What is it? And just pick one. Just don't pick the biggest one. I want to climb Mount Everest. Don't pick that. Don't pick that. I want to climb the stairs of my house first. Right? Right? Let's start with something reasonable for yourself. But start writing down what it is that you want to have. Now I'm a fan of Mary Manin Morrissey. She's Mary Morrissey now, and I'm a fan of hers. And she talks about a story that she tells. I'm going to tell her story about her son because it's just a great story and I love it. Hopefully you can relate to it. But she talks about him, and they lived in Mexico, the son and wife and 2 kids. And the son they had a house, and the son wanted a bigger house because his son was becoming a teenager, and he wanted his own bedroom. And he was sharing, the kids are sharing, they had twins, and the girls are sharing, everybody's, I don't know where he was sleeping, in the living room, I'm not really sure. But he didn't have his own bedroom, and he really wanted that. And so she went to visit, and the son was saying, we don't know how to, we can't do the house. Because down in Mexico where they were living at the time, there was no financing of a house. You had to pay cash for your house. And so they didn't have it. She said, all right, well, where are you thinking about building this house? He goes, I have a piece of land I'm thinking about. She said, all right, well, let's just go and walk around the land. Let's just go and walk around the land. So they went and they just walked around the land. And then she said, okay, where would you put the house on this land? Where would you put it? And so he said, it's up here so we can see the water, and we put it up here. All right, let's go up. Let's go and see where we put it. So she went exactly where, so they went to see. She said, okay, so tell me where everything would be. Like, where would the kitchen be? Where would the front door be? So he just started thinking about it. Well, where would that be? So he just started imagining it. She said, all right. So the next time you come, stake it out. Stake out what the house, and then every time you come, you step into your house. Every time you come, you step into it, okay? So he did that. And then she said, so what can you do next? You see, it's what's the first step? We're always looking at the end dream, but what's the thing you can do now? If you have your dream in mind, what is the thing you can do now? So the next thing, I'm not going to take through all the steps, but the next thing she had said, well, what can you do now? Because you've got this all plotted out. Can you actually put the form in or something like that? And she said, well, we have enough money to have like $15,000. We could put that in. So they did. They put the concrete in, they put the forms in, they put it exactly the way that they wanted the house to be. And right after that, this gentleman came by, had been visiting from the U.S., and he came by and he saw the form. He saw that someone wanted to build there, and they were there walking in the land at that time. And he called me. He said, "What are you guys doing with the house? What are you doing?" And he said, I'm missing a piece of the story, but I'm going to skip to this part because there were some other things where they sold their house and then moved and whatever. But this part where he said, "What do you want to do?" And he said, "Well, I want to build, but we don't have any money." And he said, the guy said, "We're looking for people to fund. We're a company in the U.S. that's starting to fund people in Mexico, and we would love to help you. If you qualify, we'd love to help you fund it." Okay? So needless to say, the house was built. It's beautiful. Shows pictures of it. It was a beautiful house. My point is this. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to dream about it. Don't be afraid to believe that whatever you want to do, it isn't too big. But start writing up a blueprint of what your dream is going to look like. If I want to be a speaker, which I do, which I am, but if I want to get on a bigger stage, and I do, what I start to do is speak where I can. Speak where you can. What do I want to speak about? I'm always speaking about love. That's the only thing I want to talk about. That's a thing that brings me passion. So I start to imagine myself speaking in front of people, and they're hearing what I'm saying, and I get to talk to them and have workshops and all that. You just begin to think about it. When I was trying to put my band together, I wanted a band. I had nothing. I didn't even know any musicians at the time. I didn't even know any musicians, but I wanted to sing, and I wanted to sing songs I loved, and I wanted to do it in front of a group, not just in a garage or my living room, right? And I wanted to get paid well, right? I didn't want to be doing it as a hobby. I wanted to get paid well. So the first thing, how are people going to know what you sing? Well, you're probably going to need to think about what you're doing. Like, so start writing up a description. I just started creating a brochure. This is what I do. Even I didn't have it, but I just started writing it. This is who I play for. This is how much I want to get paid. This is what I can do for my client, okay? All of that was written up. And then I started just singing songs and putting it on tape so that I could have something so somebody to listen to. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to go on. You guys know that I had the band, and then it went on for like 5 years. You all know the whole story. But the point is this. We all have dreams. We're meant to have dreams. They're in us for a reason, because that's your purpose for being here, to live your best life, whatever your heart is calling forth. So it begins, and if you're not a journaler, because that's what I was, I'm not a journaler. Well, if you could see my phone, and you can see all the notes I have on that phone now, because I have this little note thing, so apparently I am a journaler. So every time I have it right by my bedside, and every time I get up in the morning to meditate, and Spirit gets filling me with information. I'm like, all right, hang on, let me write that down. Okay, what now? Okay, hang on, let me write that down. So I'm not kidding, every morning. So just start towards your dream just by thinking about it. And then start writing down whatever ideas come to you. Just write them down. Don't even worry yourself about how is this going to happen. Don't concern yourself with the how. That stops so many people. I don't know how to do it. Of course you don't know how. Stop saying that. If you knew how, you'd be doing it. Of course you don't know how. It's something new. But Spirit is going to give you the information that you need. So just take a step. Just one step is all you need. The next step will be revealed. And the people that you need, because you know the law of attraction, to help you get there will be drawn towards you and you towards them. That is a promise from the universe. That's how the law works. Okay? So just do that. Decide what you want is the biggest thing. And like I said, it doesn't make any difference. Don't start with the biggest thing. Just start with something little that you want to do. I want to get a certificate of some kind. All right, well, what do you think the first thing is? Find out where the class is. Could be online. Could be online. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I want what's the first thing I can do towards that? It can be far away from it. Doesn't matter. Just what's the first thing? Claim it. That's it. That's a start. Write it down. Make it real. That's a start. Okay? And then the next step will come. So I encourage you to do that. Decide what you want, make a decision, and don't be afraid. You are plenty. And if the words start coming in your head, this is what because we did a podcast last week on spiritual practices. And one that I use a lot is affirmations and denials. And I use them a lot when I'm trying to do something new. Because your mind, your old self, that critic, is always saying, girl, what you thinking? You know you can't do that. That is not true. I actually physically put my hand up. That is not true. That's a denial. That's not true. Here's what's true. I'm already doing this. I am good enough. I'm plenty. Thank you very much. Okay? Just stop the nonsense and affirm what is true. You are good enough because who are you? Yes. Who? Thank you so much. You're an individual. Every one of y'all should be saying this because I say it every morning, every Sunday. You're an individual expression, so you are already enough. If you don't believe you're enough, just call on God because you are calling on the God within you. That's enough. Just do that. That's all right. And the other thing that I want you to understand, we talked a little bit about it last week. It may be confusing because I probably talked about it out of order, but I was so excited about it, I just wanted to share with you. And I'll probably be talking about it a lot. And that is you have to raise your vibration to the level that your dream is on. And just by walking towards it, you're raising it. Okay? So it sounds like a hard thing to do, but it's not. You are by every time when I say the vibration, I just mean the energy level, energetically. You're raising the energy within yourself. You're raising your belief. When you start walking towards something, you start, I can see clearly now. It's starting to get clearer. You just keep on walking to it. Oh my God, it's clearing up. The fog is clearing. I see the next step. And that's all you need. You don't need the 15 steps. Spirit is going to show you that. You know why? You know what Spirit is going to tell you? Exactly. It's just going to, number one, because when you get here, what it looks like over there is one thing, but when you take this step, that step may change because you don't need this. That's number one. And number two, it'll scare the heck out of you if you were to see all the steps you have to take. It would. I'm not going to be able to do that. No, of course, because you're here. Stop looking over there. Look at this. Just look in front of you. Look in front of you. Just the next step. That's all you need. Okay? That's all you need. So you're raising the your vibrational level, the frequency, the energy within you to match where your dream is. And your dream is up high. It's where love is. Love is at 500. If you guys took that, what do I call it? The map of consciousness, MOC, the map of consciousness that I had on the table back there. If you don't, look it up. It's easy to find. Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins. Everything begins at courage. It just begins at courage. But the energy level you're going to draw things into you starts at 500, where love is. Where love is. So if you're already loving what you do, you see, you're going towards the thing that is yours to do, your vibration is going to automatically start lifting. And you're going to get into that same area that your dream is in. So that's why you're going to do it. So that's all I wanted to tell you about that. I also want to tell you about raising the vibration and how we choose a dream and how we already know how to do it, just sticking with it. How many of you guys have a computer and worked on a computer? How many of you have been frustrated by working on the computer? Keep your hand up. Yeah. 2 hands. Exactly. So here's the thing. There's always something, and I was talking with Jim this morning. He was trying to, I'm gonna let him tell his whole story because it's very cute, but just trying to get the recording of this talk up on the website. Oh my God. The computers didn't want to talk and needed some different thing that he already had. You know, I need, and if you, by the way, there's a woman on Instagram that has this little thing that she does where she's talking about all the problems we have with our everything, with our phones and with our computers, and she's playing both parts. So this is how you hear it in your head. Could you please just go up into the cloud? I don't have the program that I need. This is the cloud talk. I don't have the program I need. I already put the program on the computer. I can't find it. All right, that's how it feels like, right? You know you've done everything, but the computer doesn't see it for whatever reason. It's not matching up. Sometimes you have to turn it off and back on again, and it just straightens out. Who knows? Here's my point. When you're trying to get something done, even though you're frustrated by what the computer is doing, that you have in your mind, you already have your mind set, this is happening. I've done it already. I know you can do it. We're going to keep marching forward until it gets done. That's what we say to our computers, to ourselves, right? That's what you need to say about your dream. As you're moving forward, no, we're going to keep marching forward until we get this done. I wanted to put that computer idea in your head because you already know how to do it. You already know how to definitely decide on something and keep walking towards it until it gets done. Do the same thing with your dream. Say it, walk towards it until it's done. Don't quit. You have to have that knowing in your mind. I'm doing this. This is happening. I don't care how many times I got to shut you on and off. It's happening. It's happening. So that's the same thing. To me, that's how you have a definite of purpose with your dreams. Be definite. Be definite. It's waiting for you. It's yours to have, by the way. You wouldn't have it in your heart. It wouldn't be pounding on you. It wouldn't be beating on you if it wasn't yours to have. It is yours to have. We have the power to make our dreams real. We're not too old. We don't need another degree. We don't need, or any degree. We don't need to know. We don't need anything. We're not enough of anything. We are everything we need right now to start. So the action steps that I want to take to tell you about today, I'm back to 3. Just decide, what do you want to do? And my litmus test for what I want to do, and I would ask you, this is probably going to work for you as well, what brings me joy? Because where joy is where that frequency is. So work towards whatever brings you joy. Because every day you're working on it, you go, okay, I'm going, but I'm getting there. I know there's some things that are knocking me back, but I know I'm moving forward. And when I get there, and you're going to have joy on the way as well. So decide what brings me joy and start there. And then raise the vibration by imagining, what will it look like when I have what I'm dreaming? What do I look like? What do my surroundings look like? What does it look like? Imagine it. What does it look like? And have that in your head. It'll keep pulling you forward, okay? What does it look like? And then when you finally have all of that, you're deciding, you're raising your vibration, you're seeing what it looks like, and have some tactile sensations. What's it going to feel like? What's it going to feel like? How am I going to feel? How's everybody going to be around me? Just see the whole thing. And finally, just the most important thing really is make a demand or request. Once you know what it is, then don't stop and say, well, I'm just waiting for God to drop it in my lap. No, absolutely say it. This is what I want. I want to be, I want to have, I want to do. That's it. There's no play, hey, if I hold my mouth right and if I pray 15 times, it's not transactional. It's not transactional. You just simply make the demand on the universe and then walk towards it, okay? That's it. That's how you make dreams come true. That's what we're here to do, to make our dreams come true. We take definite actions and movements towards our dreams. We are not too old. It is not too late. It's not, none of that. None of that. Just let that go. What all of that is fear. All of that is fear. It brings up what seems reasonable reasons for you not to step into your joy. It's just fear. And we know what fear is. We have many, many acronyms for that. It is not real. It's false evidence appearing real. It is not real. So let it go. Say, no. And here's the other question. What is there to fear if God's on your side? What is there to fear if God is on your side? And is there anybody in here, seriously, you don't have to raise your hand and embarrass yourself, but if there's anybody in here that doesn't believe that God is on your side, come talk to me later, please, please. Because if you can't believe, I'll believe for you until you can. Do you understand? Sometimes you just need that. Sometimes it seems too big, and you just need someone that you can trust to believe with you, believe and know the truth with you until you can know it on yourself. Okay? So just please let me know that. So it's not too late. Believe. Just start it right now. Don't worry about it. And I want to leave you with the final quote. Write your dreams in a journal, a notebook, a card, or on a wine cork. I added the wine, by the way. When you pin down your dreams, an inner strength and divine power is activated for you to work towards the fulfillment of your dreams. Leila Gifty Akita, she's an author. Think great, be great. My final words to you are, Spirit would not plant within you the seed of greatness, this yearning for more, without an intention of watering and feeding that seed until you have become who you are here to be. Just believe it and move towards it. And so it is.